Here is Wisconsin head coach Bo Ryan approaching the podium at Big Ten Basketball Media Day.
Welcome back to the stage. Welcome back, Coach. We'll start with an opening statement and then open it up for questions.
Well, it's good to be at this time of the year. This is what people like myself really enjoy, and that's in not so much being here, but being in the gym and coaching and teaching. So I'm in my element now, and this is why I got into this profession, to work with these young men, and it's going well so far. They're working hard, and a lot more teaching going on this year rather than managing, simply because of the youth of the team.
All right, thanks, Coach. Anybody have any questions, please raise your hand.
I knew 8 o'clock was a bad time to start. Not warmed up yet.
Let's go front on the aisle. Oh, no, wait for the microphone, Pete. Sorry.
Coach, I'm curious, with the change in the shot clock from 35 to 30 seconds, does that affect how you defend? In other words, maybe put more pressure on the ball to try to slow teams down to get into the offense?
Well, what we've done in practice is we already have our press break in and our press earlier than usual, just in case. So you just prepare for things like that. Always remember, some of us have been around so long, we've coached to every rule change that's ever been put out there, and there's been quite a few if you really think about it. So what we're doing is we're preparing for that both ways. We're looking on our press break to make the next pass up the court as far up as we can, since we know that a pass moves quicker than a dribble. I always enjoy doing that teaching point somewhere early in the year where you get an unsuspecting freshman and you stand at half court. I have a ball in my hand and they have a ball in their hand, and of course they think we're going to dribble to half court, and I say, all right, I'll bet I can get there before you can. So the kid is like, I used to be fast. I'm setting him up. And then he starts to take off on the quickest dribble you've ever seen. I fire a baseball pass to half court that beats him by 30 feet. And I said, well, did you learn anything? Yeah. A pass gets there quicker than a dribble. So we're always practicing to what you just said. I mean, we'll work around that. And then pressure-wise, teams with depth, teams with experience, depth, maybe they can do that. There's been people who have tried to press in the Big Ten before, and some have been successful and some have struggled with it. So I'm not sure what the other people are going to do, but we'll be ready for both.
Let's go far left side on the wall.
Coach, you said you've been around for a lot of different rule changes. Do you see this round of rule changes being one that will significantly impact the product right away? And do you think that the game is such that some big changes are necessary?
Well, you said the word product. I've never in this profession thought of anything about being a product, whether it's the players or the game or anything else. There are people that just wouldn't be happy with anything the way it is. So there's always going to be people advocating for change, for something different. Media influences rules by trying to get the most out of the advertising dollar of the people who sponsor the games. They want more dunks. They want more of this, of that. It's still going to be, you got to put the ball in the basket, and you got to try to stop the other guys from putting the ball in the basket, whether it's a 5-second shot clock or 30. We've practiced with a 17-second shot clock before we went up to Canada 2 years ago. We got shots off. There wasn't a problem with that. They were probably some of the ugliest possessions you would ever want to see. If people want to see that, they can advocate for that. But I think 30 is enough time to get a good shot. If you teach to it, practice to it. They tried it in the NIT, and you saw what a huge difference that made. A point, 1 point something points per game were scored. Okay, so some genius came up with 5 seconds off the shot clock to get one more shot. I'll tell you, I don't know where they graduated from, but that was a heck of an idea. So whatever it is, you just play to it. And defensively, what people forget is if a team's a good defensive team and the other team's taking 30 seconds off the shot clock when it was 35 and taking bad shots, you would think that somebody would be astute enough to say, boy, that team played really good defense and didn't allow that team to take a good shot until late in the shot clock, and then give credit to the defense. But I never heard a lot of that. And, you don't hear that part of it. So I think what we're doing is we're still going to play the game of basketball, and anytime you have the more mechanical things that are brought into the game, meaning the shot clock, meaning reviews, the checking to see if a ball went out of bounds off this person or that person. There's going to be a lot of stoppages in play, and I thought people were trying to find ways to make the game go a little smoother. But I really think that if some of these rules are made as far as contact, we've played teams where we had a guy on a Tuesday night game make a cut from the right wing off a back screen, and we didn't see him until Wednesday. So if they're talking about, I run an offense with freedom of movement and have forever since junior high school coaching. And if you tell me that this year our guys are going to make cuts and people aren't going to be allowed to make contact with them, we're going to have a party. That's pretty good stuff. So if you're teaching defensively not to grab cutters or to put hands on cutters and then the other people do, or vice versa, then it's obviously not going to be fair. So we're going to see how the season plays out and how they're going to call the rules, and try to get as much help as we can by communicating with the Big Ten office. We've had officials into our practices already to go over the rules and how they're going to be called. I've only had 18, I think they counted 18 disagreements with the officials in practice so far. I thought it was 25 last year at this time. So I think 18 that we discussed. When I mean a disagreement, like really, are they going to call that? So let's see if they do. Let's see if these rule changes do exactly what they want them to do. Time will tell.
Unfortunately, that's all the allotted time we have for Coach Ryan today. Appreciate you joining us, and good luck this year, Coach.
Okay, thanks.